We're back, people, and today we're bringing on film on the Miami Dolphins offense versus the Patriots in week 2. And actually, I liked what I saw from the offense overall. I thought they were pretty efficient, minus a few miscues, the snaps, just some unfortunate things. I think, this game wasn't as close as it looked by the score. They had the missed field goal, blocked field goal. There were some things the refs, definitely could have cleaned up in this game. There were some big miscues, as you'll see. But Dolphins offense looked efficient, and they did it in a completely different way than they did week 1. Week 1, they were throwing shots all over the field, and I really liked what I saw from Tua this game because Tua was getting the ball out quickly and checking the ball down, getting off his first read at times, being very decisive with his decision-making. Other than the interception, I thought he was on fire, getting the ball out quickly, and it looked like how he looked pre-McDaniel, getting the ball out. He didn't even attack the middle of the field that often. He attacked outside, towards the numbers at times, and it was very clean from him. And it's nice to see that he's willing to check it down more when things aren't given to him, especially when the Patriots, they're coming out in like a 3-deep look. It ends up, being cover 3. Like 2 of these guys end up, becoming a robber. This guy goes deep middle. These guys rob. So it's like 2 guys taking away the middle of the field here. And Tua doesn't like what he sees from his 2 options working down, and he just comes off of it, finds Barrios, an amazing pickup for this team. It looks like that he's playing the best football of his career through these first 2 weeks, and he's just that third down chain mover, and I just really liked a lot of what I saw from this offense. Mostly good. I thought the O-line was pretty solid again. They gave up 1 sack, but I feel like a lot of them not giving up a lot of sacks is just Tua's release was getting the ball out in like 2 seconds. Dolphins used a lot of their quick, short, fast out motion in this game again, like they did in week 1, but used it a little bit differently, in a lot of ways. You can tell McDaniel's just in his bag, and you can see all that room it creates for Waddle. The Patriots came out and played, very deep in their coverages. Look at how deep a lot of these guys are. A lot of the corners are off. The only people pressing are the nickel backs and some linebackers. And once this guy sees the motion, he just instantly gets out to the flat. So he takes the wheel route. Waddle sees all this space. He has, some freedom on this route to, work a little more. He can glance this to the inside, work down the seam, but he just sits on it because he sees all this space. Him and Tua are on the same page and just frees up all that room. That's just perfect scheme and perfect execution by both Waddle and Tua. And I loved how they came out and ran the ball. Mostert looked very efficient. They showed why they didn't need to pick up a running back. As I've been saying for most of the preseason, the offseason, I didn't think they needed to really go all out for one. It's just my opinion. I don't think that position is of huge value in this offense, and I think the guys they had were perfect enough contributors. They didn't need a high-end back, and Mostert really came out and proved hey, you're going to play with deep safeties, not crowd the box, give us a number advantage. We're going to make you pay. And the O-line blocked well. Alec Ingold, Durham Smythe, this is blocked up really well. Look at Kendall Lamb out in space. Another good game from Kendall Lamb. I think you might see Lamb, when Armstead comes back, fight for that right tackle spot. Him and Jackson. I know Jackson looks improved, but I still think, Lamb gives you the best 5 guys out there. So liked what I saw overall in this running game, and you'll see the more explosive plays as it went on because Mostert was running hard. Patriots come out in a 3-deep look again on 1st and 10. They're challenging them to throw it underneath and run the ball, and they rotate this basically into a cover 2. It's like a 3-safety look, but they rotate down. He comes down to be a hook defender. They bring this behind. Nothing's really open. This guy's got the fly. He's taking away Hill, but guy's gonna get over the top of it. Tua just takes the check down option. Love that. Reads the defense nicely. All of his options are pretty much covered up. You can tell how he's coming out of this play action, looking towards the middle. This he could potentially hit, but it's kind of working into this. He would have to make a very anticipated throw, but he was looking towards Tyreek early, and he sees that route's dead, so he just takes the check down to Mostert. Love that willingness from Tua, because Tua can be at times a little bit of a pre-snap quarterback where he's just hey, I'm going to rip this ball no matter what, and he will, and it pays off a lot because he does it over the middle field all the time. He did on the interception in this game where he kind of decided pre-snap he was going to throw that ball deep to Tyreek. But in this, overall, other than that play, he was very, very patient and didn't try to force things, which is kind of perfect versus the Belichick defense with what he was giving him. And I really like that improvement from his game. Their bread and butter, RPO, worked in this game. The same side, fast out motion that they added to the wrinkle. They still use that a lot on the RPO that they always run, seam rail slide or the slant, flat wheel combo, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Tua just makes a great read. They motion out Achmed. Pre-snap, he's the, flat option coming out here on the slide. Judon's dropping out into coverage. He's just reading him and he finds Tyreek Hill behind it, throwing with anticipation. Him and Tyreek on the same page, just picking up yards. This first drive was very efficient until they got down into the red zone, where I just don't like running the ball back-to-back plays on first and second down, and then you get the bad snap on third down, and he kind of trips over himself, and that kind of caused this drive to slow down. But they were looking efficient moving the ball up and down the field, which I think will lead to a lot of future success offensively. This time they motion across and they do a little pitch jet sweep action to Achmed, and I love this because, a lot of times with how this motion was working these past 2 weeks, it's just they motion across. I don't think they had handed it off, or they've just been using this guy to really widen the defense. No one even paid attention. Look how this guy chases him across because he's in coverage with him, but look at the rest of the second level right here. They don't take him in account at all. They do not expect him to get the ball. They're expecting either run up the middle or it's going to be a play action, throw the ball out quickly, but they just pitch it to him. And then good job by Waddle sealing out too. I love the effort that these receivers show in the running game, or just blocking out in space. It's really nice to see, and I liked how our running back showed up. And then after those two failed run plays, which I just don't like, only giving Tua one chance. Obviously, this is just something that's unfortunate. Obviously, it's a little bit of a low snap. Don't want to see that from Connor. Right below the knees, which is unfortunate. Tua falls off balance, and then just something weird happens with the ankle. Obviously, he didn't get injured. I also think with him getting the ball out quickly has really kept him from not getting hit, which is a huge thing for his health. But this was designed up pretty nicely. You can see how they widen everything. Barrios goes straight into the flat. He's reading that. He might throw Barrios there. They have Tyreek on the fade above it. If he doesn't get tripped up here, because he kind of just throws this away, this Waddle quick out is open if he throws it with anticipation. So it had a chance to work, but the snap and Tua not looking the most athletic on that play kind of ruined their chances there. But those are things that you can fix up. Those are kind of just things that are just really unfortunate and shouldn't happen very often. But the snapping issue is definitely an issue, but that's something you can work on. So hopefully they do fix it eventually. But it's really weird for snapping to be your main problem offensively. 3rd and 7, Dolphins did a pretty good job converting in these situations. Patriots rotate out into a cover 3. They're showing pressure, pre-snap here. Look how everyone's mugging this line of scrimmage right here. They're showing they're going to bring pressure. They motion Tyreek across and they rotate into this cover 3. He recognizes it. He sees the people drop. He sees that, they're still bringing some, but he's ready to throw this. He's just reading that this guy is carrying Barrows here, and he's supposed to be the curl flat defender, not able to get out there, not able to leverage Tyreek's route because of that motion, and he just throws it with anticipation. Him and Tyreek on the same page, exact depth where you want to be, and you pick up the first down conversion. They just looked super, super efficient overall in this game. Also, shout out Savon Ahmed. I think he got hurt in this one, but he still looked pretty good on his limited touches. It also got A-Chain some work later on, which I'll show some of the A-Chain plays on his one drive where he got to work. He looked pretty solid in his limited snaps. I like to see more of him as the season goes on. But this is just a great job by A-Chain, making a person miss that's coming in unblocked. Lamb just misses his responsibility there. He's just a little late to see it. Ahmed's quick feet, contact balance, his play strength looks like it's improved this season. And that's a big thing with these running backs. I feel like, Mostert, Achmed, A-Chain, all more known for not being the biggest, strongest guys, have been playing way stronger than people expect. And then after that first drive, the Patriots kind of went away from that showing the 3 safety look, and then would either rotate into cover 3 with 2 robbers or just cover 2, Tampa 2 type look. They started going basic cover 3, and Tua started making them pay with these slants. He was just manipulating, flat hook defenders, getting the ball out on time with anticipation. You can tell how comfortable he is. We'll look at this one more angle from this way. But the play action, slide this way, reset those feet. That's so impressive, bro. People underestimate the footwork here to reset like that, come across. He's not even looking at it, and the timing, anticipation, the accuracy to hit Waddle right in the chest on this. You're not even looking over there. You're not prepared, and it's just all quick, smooth. So those linebackers, second-level defenders can't take away that from underneath, and they hit this multiple times. Craycraft had a couple. It was really nice to see. And I love this wrinkle, the fast out motion with Tyreek. Get the defense to, move out, really get the attention on him, and it just gets the Waddle screen underneath. I feel like this is the most we've ever seen that type of screen effective, and it just allowed Waddle to be explosive. It's a 2nd and 19 situation. They make this call, Tyreek motions out, and then great job by the offensive lineman getting out in space too. You can see Austin Jackson and Robert Hunt, right guard, right tackle. They both take on a guy, 23, and either 8 or 9, but they both end up getting blown out of the way. Williams takes on 5. So all 3 linemen there deserve credit. All 3 of these linemen that pulled to this side to like get out on the screen game, because Wynn and Lamb are staying over here. They all had basically a pancake on this play. Really, really awesome work. And Waddle could have scored there, honestly. He just got barely tripped up by Marcus Jones. Like, excellent design and great job by the lineman on that play. And the first touchdown goes to Mostert down in the red zone. 2nd and 3 situation. They had like a penalty there. It's nice to see just Mostert showing off that speed to get to the end zone, and just good job pressing. Very decisive. I love the decisive. Like, I feel like last season he kind of started slow with like, hitting these holes, seeing things a bit late, just not being super decisive, running hard. And then like the last few games of the season, he really took off, and it's really felt that way. You can see him anticipate this. He's getting this ball. He's already reading the leverage of these blocks. He sees this opening up. He starts to press up into this hole. And you see like a lot of guys would try to press up into this, but 30's going to fill into it. 48, you can feel his momentum shifting to the inside. So he presses up into it and gets to the outside and has the speed to get to the edge there. So really excellent run, veteran type moves there from Mostert. This was one of the miscues. Like, Patriots look like they might be showing like a quarters look pre-snap potentially, but they rotate into a cover 3. He goes middle of the field, and Tua makes a nice read here. He's ready to read this. He's just reading this safety basically. He sees him drop down into the hook, being like a buzz type defender, and he's just seeing the leverage of this guy. The flats taking the flat defender. Tyreek's coming across, and him and Tyreek just not on the same page. He's throwing with a bunch of anticipation. I think honestly, it maybe live to some people, it looks like Tua was inaccurate. I actually think he made the right throw here to this spot. Tyreek should have slowed down, because if he did, it would have been in the perfect triangle, because right here is, where the ball would have been, but he floated a little too far and adjusted to it late. So I think that's a pretty good play by Tua. Tyreek just slightly off page. This isn't a usual thing, so I'm not too worried about it in the long run. Just, things you want to be more consistent with overall. Him and, Tyreek are usually on the same page, so I'm not worried about it going forward, but just things to, notice in these film breakdowns. Patriots finally go man-to-man. They went man-to-man later in this game a couple times. They get, cover 1 robber, and Tua reads the defense correctly, makes the correct throw. At least, he sees the one-on-one matchup. He's just, looking to this side. He comes back here, sees the safety's not like getting deep to be like cover 2 man, and he also saw this safety. Like, he looks over here, right? He's just seeing this safety still inside, like on the hash. So he thinks, this could still be cover 1. Comes back here, sees this safety sitting on it like he's gonna rob, and he's ready to throw. Drops that back foot, just underthrows. First of all, that should have been pass interference. That was one of the missed calls by the ref for sure. Like, I feel like whenever QBs underthrow balls in man-to-man situations, and it's not like pass interference when they try to stop, come back, like that's always called, like all the time. I swear to God, I never see Waddle or Hill. Like, I remember there was like a game stretch last year. I swear to God, it was like 7 games in a row, and they didn't get a single pass interference or holding call, and I don't understand how they never get it. This play looks like, the real Miami Dolphins offense with how they run things, just dropping, sitting back. This is what they were doing all last season. Getting the ball out on those like deeper slants usually would be to Waddle and Hill, but Craycraft looking good in this offense. You can just watch Tua on this play, like the way he zips these across, down the field, picking up, 22 yards on that play, throwing this like 14 yards down the field. You can just see, look at his eyes here, the effect that he has on these defenders, getting out wide with these routes, and look how 8 just gets turned around. Like, the ball is thrown to this side of 8, and he turns the opposite way, like, to find the ball. So you can tell Tua's just manipulating with his eyes, set this, and then great accuracy to Craycraft from the middle, who's been phenomenal for them as well. Then right after that, the next play, Craycraft again for Tua, just reading the leverage of these defenders. You're seeing this 2nd and 4. You basically have like a double type of slant concept, Berrios working up the seam, and he's just reading this guy. This guy squeezed to Berrios long enough, you throw it to this slant behind it. This guy goes out to the flat a little bit more off the ball, you throw the slant to Berrios. He sees him squeeze just enough. He's already throwing the ball with a lot of anticipation. Craycraft has not even broken yet, and it hits him right in stride. That is just top tier QB play that goes unnoticed with how early he's throwing that ball and with how quickly he's reading the play. Like, people think that's just, he's throwing to an open receiver, pitch and catch. No, those are very good things that the best QBs do in the NFL consistently. Best throw of the night for Tua. They get the fast out motion to Tyreek. I feel like this kind of gets messed up. I don't know exactly what Tyreek's trying to do, because it is man-to-man, and it feels like he should be like creating a little more space to the inside on his route. Like, This is man-to-man, and I don't even know who's covering. Like, I guess 6 is man-to-man. If Tyreek Stroud was breaking over the middle, he would have been wide open. Because Smythe gets doubled because he's carrying a man, and this guy's like the middle of the field defender. He's staying over the top. It's a very weird defensive call. I'm not sure with the spacing here, but also the route by Barrios, breaking this to running like a whip to the wheel route, and just absolutely beautiful throw. Watch this from Tua's perspective, seeing the eyes. He comes to this late. Also the pocket presence, because he gets some pressure, rolls away from it, comes off, throws it like off his back foot too, and just absolutely perfect throw to Barrios. And this was just a beautiful drive, the best drive of the game I think the Dolphins had right before half. Thing of beauty. Then they finish with a Tyreek Hill touchdown, motioning out Durham Smythe on the. I love how he just uses anyone, dude. Durham Smythe, out angle, and Tyreek Hill. The fast out motion just gets him the one-on-one matchup you want. Because look at this, pre-snap looks like it's man-to-man, you know. But Tyreek would be on Christian Gonzalez, who's their best corner, their rookie, really good corner, and Kyle Duggar would be on Smythe, who's a very good defender as well. But this gets, Smythe to really pull out to the flat and take Gonzalez with him, and then gets him a one-on-one matchup. And if Tua throws this with anticipation like he does, then Tyreek's going to get that every single time unless Gonzalez squeezes. And when Gonzalez squeezes to this in the flat, you throw the fade over the top to Smythe, and it just works out to perfection. So great play calling, great setup. And Tyreek and Tua execute again. This was the one sack of the night. The one sack through, I think, the first, 2 weeks now. Patriots actually go cover one. Everything's kind of taken away. You can see how they do this. They basically bracket Waddle up here in man-to-man. Their robber takes away the inside breakers. 27 has outside leverage. Waddle's just dead here. Tyreek kind of gets screwed as well because look how Duggar pays attention to him. Duggar's, responsible for the man-to-man going to the flat, but he walls him off initially. So he gets the hands on him, walls him off, and slows all of that down, and then gets his guy man-to-man. So that's just really good defensive play. And then the O-line. I don't think they played as good in week 1. I still think, there was some good stuff. Austin Jackson gets beaten there. I haven't studied Jackson specifically yet, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't think, he looked as bad as he did in the past, but I don't think he was as good as he was in week 1, which is, I think expected versus Patriots D-line. I know Chargers have good edge defenders, like very good edge defenders, but overall I don't think it's as strong as a unit, and they just get some pressure up the middle and off the edge, and it kind of, forces people into it. So just, good coverage, good call, and they kind of got forced into a 3rd and long because their first 2 plays coming into the half were just unsuccessful runs, and it kind of, puts the offense in a tough spot. I do love how Tua usually responds to mistakes. Like when he misses something, like he missed Waddle on the cover 1 vertical route earlier in the game. This time he hits him, puts it much more out in front. Probably could have let him a little bit more, but he gives Waddle a chance on this one. Like he just reads this. He's seeing man-to-man, middle of the field safety. He's taking a shot to Waddle or Hill here. He likes the option to Waddle a little bit better on this one. Throws it up. That's really nice touch on this one. Just gives Waddle a nice ball to catch. Like you go up, use his body, and then Waddle does a really good job just positioning himself on these plays. And then I think, after this, like there's still some good passing plays, but I feel like the running game really starts to take over in this second half, which is huge, I think, for this team's future because we already know what we're going to get out of the passing game. Here we get to see some Devon A-Chain. Nice to see him in some action. Like he got a 5-yard carry, and then there was a holding play, but he had another 6-yard gain. I liked how, he looked patience there. He looks pretty smooth running underneath here on this outside zone lead. We'll just watch him read this play, letting these blocks develop. He's just working off the back of angled here. You'll just read angled. He's taking a good angle. He starts to slow this down, active feel, like his footwork. He sees 21 gains. He presses up into this block and then gets back out into his hole, drops, picks up a nice 5 yards. Pretty solid first attempt run out of A-Chain. Then the next A-Chain play gets called for holding, but do you see him almost get to the edge, the perimeter here? I want to see his speed out of this offense so well, or so bad, because I feel like he's going to be a perfect fit when they really get him going. But just to the outside here, reading and man the line of scrimmage down. He's getting pressured up the middle right there. He has the speed to get around to the edge, but then look at the transition. Just boom, footwork, get up hill, read this leverage, drop the shoulder into 23, but still fall forward. And after contact, guy hits him, about at the 23-ish yard line, and he falls forward and fights down to the 2019. So really liked what I saw of A-Chain. And then he gets, I'm not going to show it, but he gets a nice little dump down catch. Nothing too crazy, but nice to see him, hang on to the first catch of his action. I think, he looked pretty solid. Excited to see more when he gets some real big sample size of work. In this play, Patriots showing the cover 0. They do go cover 0, but Duggar's able to drop back. Very unfortunate. Also, I want to say, I saw this live. It's hard to tell from this angle, Like, but it just looks like Judon, number 9 right here. Look how much farther ahead of he is of all the rest of the D-line. It looks like he's offside. Like, his head is definitely over the ball. Like, look at Tyreek, too. Tyreek is pointing to it. He's telling the ref, like, that guy's offside. I don't know how that wasn't called. That would have been a huge game changer because obviously they get their field goal blocked after this. It would have made a 3rd and 11, a 3rd and 6, which is much more manageable. Yeah, it just looks like he's offside. Definitely harder to tell from this angle. But this is a good play. Like, Tua makes the correct read here to throw this to Ezukama. He's feeling the pressure. He's floating away. He knows where he's hot. He throws it. Duggar just comes out of the, showing the blitz there late and just gets just enough of a hand on it. So an excellent defensive play, but should have been offsides. This was a great no-look pass from Tua. They go to the RPO. Their staple, seam rail slide, and Waddle just drops a big one. I saw some people saying he probably would have scored. Like, some people thought he would have scored. I don't know about that. These guys definitely had angles on him, but it should have at least been a first down, which would have been huge because they needed to get out of, at least get some field position back in this area. But yeah, just subtle mistakes, that can end up costing you in the long run. Didn't in this one. I think overall the process looked fine, but just got to fix up these tiny little errors. Here's another quality run from Mostert. Also kind of Hunt gets beat here, but it's kind of a vet play from him. Mostert really creates this a lot on his own, which I really like to see. I love how he was creating a lot on this, like this pitch to the outside. The snap's high. Good job by Tua to recover here. Then pitch it. Hunt gets beat to the outside, and this is a heads-up play. Like, Hunt is beat here. When they beat you this much, it's better to just pull them back. Keep pulling yourself back because the more they reset the line of scrimmage here, like, no one else is going to be pushed up 5 yards. The rest of the D-line is not going to be all pushed up 5 yards. So this creates space actually to work with when they get pushed up that much. So Mostert just has to cut off that, make another defender miss in space, make some solid cuts to pick up 7 yards on a play that could have been disastrous. And here's the interception. I feel like this is just one of those plays where Tua, pre-snap, he's already knowing where he's going to go. He's looking off the safety at the bottom, and he's just ready to throw it. He does get hit, but I think he gets hit after he releases it. I know some people are saying he got hit as he released it. I think it's just the ball kind of slipped out of his hand. He just shouldn't have thrown this ball. It was a predetermined read. If he was looking to Tyreek Hill, he was just kind of holding the safety. That's what he was thinking he was doing. He thought they were going to be in the middle of the field, but they didn't. He's just looking off to this side with Waddle, and then once he hits that back foot, he's already ready to charge this up. But if he was looking to Tyreek's side, he should have thrown the ball right here and throw it to Tyreek's back shoulder. Ball should been out to Tyreek's back shoulder to give him a chance, but just made a predetermined read, and sometimes Tua will do that. Jackson also got beat here, and just a great play by Christian Gonzalez as well on the back end. Got to give him some credit. Jackson definitely struggled a bit more with Judon in this one, but still some good signs overall from the offensive line, better than I think people expected coming into the year, and I think it'll only get better once Armstead comes back and you have some elite play. But yeah, not the best play there from Tua, but I can live with this one bad play if the rest has been as good as it is. But then the defense responded with a nice 3-and-out, and then the Dolphins responded with a, very good run by Mostert. Just burst. Great speed. That speed out of the offense in the backfield is so good. But watch Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt with the elite play to set this up. Just beautiful. Absolutely amazing. Mostert gets to the end zone. We'll go back and watch that one a little more slowly. So he combos down to 95, right? He combos down to the nose. Look at all the help that he gives to Connor here. Connor's got a pretty solid block going, but he pushes him all the way out of the way, moves him down 2 gaps, then is able to get over. Look at where number 8 is pre-snap. He's lined up, on the inside shade of the left tackle, basically as that B gap, but is able to get over and cut him off on this side to help seal this off for Mostert. That is an elite play, man. That's what I was saying last week. He's one of the better guards in the NFL. Then Mostert had some nice runs in their last drive of the game, which really helped, get that clock down. He at least got them down in field goal range. Another missed-snapped opportunity, which is, not great. But it's nice to see, they're running the ball effectively when it was obviously we're going to run the ball. They motion angled across. I like this action here. It has Tua turn away like they're going to run here, but it gets some counter action. He presses up into this, just reading the linebacker, and has the speed to get to the outside. Love the decisiveness on that run there from Mostert. Last play I'm going to break down. This is the play right before the fumble snap. Just something they got cleaned up. I think that one was more on Tua, the final one. Hard to tell from the All-22 angle, but when I watched it live, it looked like it was on Tua. Just getting down this play right here from Mostert, though. Just getting down, look at the movement being created and just getting downhill, getting skinny through the hole. Look how he He sees it. He's getting patient. He presses up into this. He sees this is going to open up. Just once Hunt fills this apart and goes to 5, he gets skinny and just carries guys for a few extra yards, gets 1 yard short of the first down, and gave them a chance to convert. But they still put themselves in field goal range with that play specifically. Got to see Sanders got to make those field goals because this game should not have been as close as it was for a few different reasons. But still nice to see them pull out a win on the road. Starting 2-0 on the road is huge. They look like one of the better teams in the NFL. Excited to see how the season continues. This has been so much fun watching them. So if you guys really make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.